Ireland has a reputation for being drinkers' paradise. The Irish not only brew great beers, but they also distill some of the world's finest whiskies. Drinks that suit the somewhat rough climate very well. A pint of good stout and maybe a shot of whiskey are an ideal pairing for Ireland's national dish, the Irish stew, prepared from lamb, potatoes, and all sorts of vegetables. By the way, there are lots of sheep in Ireland. No, I didn't count them all on my hike in the Green Hills, but statistics indicate that there are 5.2 million sheep and only 4.8 million people in the Irish Republic. The Irish people may be merry old souls, but despite a common rumor, they do not appear to drink too much. The average per capita consumption of beer in Ireland is 97 liters, far below the 107 liters of beer consumed annually by the average inhabitant of Austria or Germany. But as we know, beer is not about the volume of consumption, but to explore the significant diversity that is available on the market, and to sample it along with a good meal and, more important, with some good friends. I have to admit that all the walking around in this beautiful country made me thirsty. Before I continued my stroll to the next destination, I decided to take a quick pause in one of Dublin's most renowned pubs and try one of the new local brews. Sometimes life can be quite enjoyable, right?
This probably is the best view that you can have of Dublin City because we're standing on the highest building in Dublin. Today, the brewery at St. James's Gate is Ireland's topmost tourist attraction. By the middle of the 18th century, a porter beer had traveled from London to other parts of what we now know as the United Kingdom. This porter beer became popular with those people who were drinking unhopped ale at the time, and so were the Irish. But in 1759, a brewer named Arthur Guinness decided that he would set up a porter brewery in Dublin. And he thought that porter beer could be brewed in Dublin even better than in London. He proved quite successful with that. And the beer that he developed from the porter was the stout porter. Stout porter became a style in the 19th century, and commonly it's only known as stout. In many parts of the world, stout and Guinness seem to mean the same thing. Equally here in Ireland, stout and beer seem to mean the same thing, but that's not true. First of all, beer was around in Ireland long before stout came into life. This particular pub here, the Brazen Head, was founded in 1198, so at that time there was no porters, no stouts, probably it was unhopped ales. The second thing is, of course, Guinness is the market leader, but even Guinness brews to more than 20 different recipes, and there's many other breweries that brew stouts. It's a debate what makes a stout a stout. One thing that many people would agree on is that stout has a coffee-ish aroma and a coffee-ish bitterness. which comes from roasted malts. But then there's sweet stouts, which are like sweet coffee, dry stouts like those that are drunk in Ireland, and imperial stouts, which are very strong versions of a stout. Those were exported to countries like Russia because then these beers would be sold at a high price in St. Petersburg. This is why imperial stouts sometimes are called Russian imperial stouts. But when you think of a stout or a stout anywhere in the world, you probably think of an Irish stout. Again, this holds true for industrialized countries. In Africa, for example, stouts would be much stronger in alcohol and also much stronger in taste.